Good to see you. Did you want something? You're not here to join the Mages Guild, are you? I am the chapter head of the Cheydinhal Mages Guild. It is quite an honor, but they had no choice, since I'm the only semi-competent one here. Are you sure you're up to it? You seem a little slow. I expect this will end in disaster, but nonetheless, I will grant your request. Very well. You are now an associate of the Mages Guild. To advance in the guild, you'll need recommendations from each local guild hall in Cyrodiil, a feat which I'm sure will elude you completely. If you manage to actually receive the recommendations, you'll be eligible for entrance to the Arcane University. I shall be quite surprised as well. Now, unless you wish to attempt to impress me with your no doubt staggering intellect, I have actual work to attend to. Without recommendations from the local guild halls, you'll never see the inside of it. I dare say that's one of the few things Traven has done right. By all means, travel to the Imperial City and get stopped at the gates. You should get used to that sort of rejection. The guild is still powerful in Cyrodiil, but poor decisions in the recent past have weakened it, perhaps killed it. We shall see. Things in the guild have been different since Traven was named Archmage. They're more structured, but everyone seems tense. Tell me more. Well done. You're revolting. Oh, really now? You're such a charmer. Really now? You're such a Get away! What a great... Oh, please. Don't waste my time if you're not ready for this. Are you prepared to do what is necessary to gain a recommendation from me? Very well. We shall see how prepared you actually are. There was a particular ring of burden I was testing some time ago. Another stupid associate somehow got his hands on it and managed to misplace it. If I didn't know better, I'd say he purposely tossed it down the well behind the guild hall. Why he would do such a thing is beyond me. You will retrieve this ring for me. Should you manage to do so, I shall consider sending a recommendation to the university. The well is locked, so you'll need the key. Dietzen should have a copy of it. Now get moving. It's not a normal ring, you see. You may find it slightly difficult to carry. Don't say I didn't warn you. I believe I explained your task very clearly. Find the ring, which is somewhere down in the well behind the guild hall. Bring it to me. Do you understand, or do I need to use even smaller words? Find someone else to bother, won't you?
I'm Trevand, the Red Guard, Mages Guild Avoca. Surprised? Yes, you don't see many Red Guards in the Mages Guild. We don't much like spellcasters in Hammerfell. Wizards steal souls and tamper with minds. If you use magic, you're weak or wicked. My family didn't approve of my vocation, so I had to come to Cyrodiil for my education. I admit, I still have strong prejudices against necromancy, summoning, and illusion. Profaning the remains or souls of the dead is just wrong, and I'm uneasy about tampering with others' minds and trafficking with Daedra. My progress through the ranks here will be slow. My prejudices against certain types of magic limit my chances for advancement. Daedra cults aren't necessarily evil, of course. In nearby Morrowind, for example, they worship Daedra in the temple. The Azura Shrine north of town, up Lake Arius Way, for instance. I know a dark elf there. Nothing evil about him. If you're looking for the most powerful spells, you'll want to speak to Barisian at the Arcane University, if you're allowed in, that is. Fallcar always has been pretty harsh, even when it comes to basic lessons. He seems to have gotten worse lately, though. I think he even scared away the last associate who came here for training. What was his name again? I can't remember. Dietzen would know, though. The Mages Guild has made more than a few enemies since necromancy was banned. Take your time. Oh, that's great. That's really too much. I wish I could say that. You can't scare me. What nonsense. What a great story. I like that. Oh, don't. You're wasting your breath. Well, you're Where'd you get? Not now, not later, not ever. Oh, I like. Don't talk. Well done. Really? Interesting. That's really. What? Is that so? Oh, where'd you get? Don't talk such. That works for me. Good day.
Don't you have somewhere else to be?
Hello, associate. Islandwy, I'm only a conjurer, but Oren is a full magician. Isn't he wonderful? Perhaps it seems silly, but our love is the most important thing in all creation. Oren and I spend all our time together in the High Elf way. Blasted thief! I hope they string him up when they catch him. He's a slippery one, though. The beggars are his eyes and ears. Oren doesn't like to brag, but no one can match the spells he can cast. He might teach you one if you're skilled enough. At the last Imperial Alchemy Symposium, I heard Sindarian mention something about a strange, glowing root. I'm afraid I can't remember what he said about them. Perhaps you should make the trip to Skingrad and ask him in person. It sure sounds like Fallcar has it in for you. What a bizarre thing to ask you to do! Archmage Traven is the first to take such a hard stance on necromancy. It upset more than a few people. For you, of course. Goodbye.
Hello, guildmate. Good day. Trayvon, we don't... I admit... There's much I can show you. Can I interest you in some of my wares? Tell your friend. Goodbye.
Hello, guildmate.
Nastya Kozma is really skilled with her blade. It's a shame she doesn't compete in the arena.
I understand. And her parents her again. It's her competing. Quite a shame. Farewell.
Oren the Avoca. I'm responsible for enchanted item recharge for the Cheydinhal Guild Hall. Well, to be honest, I don't think we have much of a team in the Cheydinhal Guild Hall. We lack leadership, and individually we aren't very skilled. Only mages who have gotten recommendations from all the local guild halls can enter the Arcane University. It's a good policy, I think. Now, that sounds like an odd way to prove your worth. I just don't understand Fallcar sometimes. The last associate that came in for training never came back. I guess Fallcar really upset him. Dietzen seemed mad about it too. The Mages Guild has made more than a few enemies. Goodbye.
Greetings,
Well
wizard.
met, guildmate.
Any news?
We're all talking about the Emperor's murder. We have no Emperor and no heir. That's never happened before. I suppose we should all be worried.
Interesting. Heard any news from the other provinces?
Nothing I'd like to talk about.
Take care.
I'm Dietzen, magician, Mages Guild, that is. It's all right. The guild here, that is. That's what you meant, right? It's fine. I'm doing fine here. Our hall doesn't offer much in the way of training. I can teach some basic illusion skills, but that's about it. Don't tell me Fallcar's given you the same task he gave Vidkun. Oh, dear, I'd say more, but... well, Fallcar is the ranking member here, and I don't feel comfortable talking about him. I'm sorry. I'll tell you what. Find me when Fallcar's not around, and then we'll talk. After we've spoken, you can have the key. Believe me, this is important. As I've said, Archmage Traven is the first to take such a hard stance. Knowledge is power. There's much Let's get to Knowledge is power. Pay attention. Knowledge. Knowledge is... Pay attention. There's... Knowledge is... There's much I can... Let's see if we... I can show you... Good that... Knowledge... Knowledge is... Pay attention, and you can... Be careful. I'm Ditsan. Please, go on.
Don't you have somewhere else to be? Hello, guildmate.
What's the... It's my knowledge is the key. I hope I can help. We can talk, so long as Fallcar is out of earshot. If I didn't know any better, I'd say he's trying to get you killed. He gave poor Vidkun the same task, and we never saw him again. I'm reasonably sure there's a connection, but I can't prove it. Do be careful. I'd hate to lose another useful associate. Here's the key, and something extra. I don't know if it will be of use to you, but from what I've heard of Fallcar's ring, it may come in handy. And if you find out anything about what happened to Vidkun, let me know, will you? He was an associate, just like yourself. Perhaps not the brightest, but very eager. He was given his assignment from Fallcar and disappeared. It's like he dropped out of existence. No one knows what happened, and Fallcar won't say a word about it. Just perform the task you've been given. We'll talk more once you're done. Be careful, associate.
Hello, associate.
I'm afraid some things have happened while you've been gone, associate. It may affect your recommendation. He's dead? Oh, I knew it. I just knew something like this had happened. Fallcar must have known, and yet he said nothing. How could he allow this to happen? Thank you for letting me know. I'm sorry that you had to be a part of all of this. Oh, just drop it anywhere. I don't think he really cared about it. I think it was some sort of sick joke on his part. I'll admit, it's my doing. I couldn't leave well enough alone, and after you'd left to go after that ring, well... I'm just so tired of the way we've all been treated by Fallcar. I was worried about you and angry about Vidkun, so I confronted Fallcar directly. He was furious when I told him I'd helped you, and then when I threatened to report him to the Council of Mages, I thought he was going to kill me. He flew into a rage. I didn't even understand some of his ranting, but he said that our days are numbered, and then he stormed out. I don't know if he ever wrote your recommendation. I'm sorry. I didn't expect this to happen. Perhaps you should go look and see if he did write one. You should check his room in the living quarters. If you see the note or anything else unusual, let me know. I'll gladly send it to the council. It's such a shame. He didn't deserve to die like that. Good day.
Hello, Guildmate.
Greetings. What's this? Black soul gems? Oh dear, this is worse than I'd expected. Alright, I'll just take these from you. I'll need them for my report to the council. Now, you didn't find any sort of recommendation? Very well. I shall write one myself and include it in my report to the council. In light of the circumstances, I believe they'll find it more than adequate. Goodbye.
Well met, guildmate.
Well met. What a way to go. Awful news. Just awful. You too.
I'm Trevand. We don't... Goodbye. What is it, associate?
Greetings, Guildmate. A pleasure to speak. Not only has necromancer... I heard what happened to him. I wonder if the Mage's Council will do anything. Be seeing you.